Years of watching them day in and day out, I knew it was never over at any point. They were going to keep fighting to the end, and that's exactly what they did. They got the guys back healthy that were on defense, and that made a huge difference. What was it, three first team All-Pros on the defense, and a couple of those guys missed a few games, so that shows how they came back determined and got out on the field and helped us get down that stretch. And what better way to show your perseverance than last week?
Seahawks learned something early in the year because against Dallas, we had that game won, and I always usually use the expression, you don't exhale. And I think the Seahawks exhaled against Dallas, and they made that miraculous catch on the sidelines and put it through. I think that's what Green Bay did on Sunday after that fourth interception when the guy, nobody does that. You don't catch an interception as defensive back and slide when you have a whole way to go. So that was indicative. That was perfect example of their exhale. We got this game on, I'm going to slide. And they slid all the way back to Green Bay. And these guys, you went to the Super Bowl in 2005. What's it like trying to get back to the Super Bowl the next year?
Well, it's tough. You're getting everyone's best effort, and you expect that. You're ready for that, but it's so hard to get to a Super Bowl. That's why so few teams do it, and everything's got to go right. Injuries, the draft has to go right, the guys you lose in free agency, all those types of things. Everything has to just be dialed in and go exactly right for you to get to a Super Bowl, and to repeat, is like I said, is even tougher. So, for us in 2005, we had a pretty good football team. But it wasn't quite, we had a couple of injuries that we didn't have the year before, and it wasn't quite, that 2006 season, it just didn't quite happen. We got to the playoffs, we ended up losing to Chicago, so disappointing, yeah, because we certainly had the thought of going and repeating and being that team and trying to start a dynasty here in Seattle. Fortunately for us, I think it brought the organization in 2005, that team brought the organization forward a little bit. And there was a little dip in there, but the organization knew how to handle it. And look at these guys now. It's a great result.
Sydney right now. Sydney in preparation. You have 2 weeks in preparation for the Super Bowl. You were in the locker room last year getting ready with the guys. What's it like getting ready for the Super Bowl with all the press, all the questions? They have 2 weeks, so they're making up stories. They're trying to find stories. What's the mindset and what is it like getting ready for the Super Bowl?
It's about focus, and that's one thing that this team has. You have guys like Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, and Russell Wilson. They're tremendous leaders, so their main job is to keep focus on the team, not let the outside things get to them. As you mentioned, everything in the media is always trying to bring up the story in those 2 weeks. In those 2 weeks to, try to get somebody off their rocker or catch them off guard. That takes your focus away from the game. But like I said, these guys do a tremendous job preparing, and they have a great mindset as well as a great coaching staff that keeps them grounded throughout the whole time. And when the lights come on, they go out there and play Seahawks football.
For these guys, and then I'll open it up for you. I'm opening up to all you guys. What made this year special? Other than trying to get back. You can't talk. You don't want to mess up now. You can't talk. So Ben, what do you think made this year special? What has made it special this year?
Well, I had the pleasure, and this an unfortunate pleasure, to have my 7 years be pitched between 2 Super Bowls. I came after Tobek and those guys went to the Super Bowl, and I was excited to join the Seahawks. And then I left, and Sydney comes along and wins the Super Bowl, so I had to rethink. But however, like you talk about what this means though, and being here and being drafted to the Seahawks, I'm one of the only guys drafted to the Seahawks, and staying here and playing here my whole 7 years, and this is the only place I know. This is the perspective I take from it. I was here and I have family and friends that I've made, and they talk about the days in the Kingdom and the old Seahawks and wanting to get to